Today, we're talking place. Arguably the biggest factor in our life, the one that's pretty underconsidered. I was always pretty content in my hometown of Brisbane, but like many of you, I imagine, I had an insatiable itch to get out. To be honest, I'm not sure I wanted to leave. I was happy there with amazing people and passions around me, but more so I was terrified of staying forever and regretting it. At the end of the day, it was just something I had to do. Growing up, I felt pretty different to other people. Not that this is unique by any stretch, but I remember feeling as though I was composed of so many different parts that were all always in conflict with each other. I had athletic pursuits and artistic passions, career aspirations, questions about my identity. I'm talking about it in the past because it's easier, but I'm still super confused about it all. But anyway, I would look at the people around me and they all seemed to be so clear on their purpose, who they were, and I wasn't mature enough to be able to talk about this with them. These days, at least, I've convinced myself that everyone is just as lost, so if you're not, then keep it to yourself. So with all this, I remember seeing movies or TV shows that would be based somewhere else, some other country, and looking at the people there and thinking, oh look, maybe that's where it would all click, where everyone would be just like me. It's here where I'm at, that's the problem. So when I got the chance, I left. I travelled around Australia, around some of the world, and moved here to France. And so what did I find? Well, firstly, it's embarrassing, but I'm pretty disappointed to be able to look back fondly at my hometown. I was hoping to, once I leave, never be able to return, to validate all of my feelings and insecurities that it didn't suit me, but honestly, it's a pretty great place. Secondly, everywhere I've seen is kind of the same in two ways. In the sense that no place is ever going to fix your identity crisis, and also in the sense that any place really could be my home. What I mean by this is that as humans, we have such an innate capacity to adapt to our surroundings, and this is a real strength of mine, while at the same time we also have so much autonomy in how we shape our lives. This is why I believe I could create a life now in which I feel at home just about anywhere in the world. So then the question becomes, how do I decide on the place that is right for me? How do I narrow it down in this endless sea of options? Do I wait until I get that feeling in my stomach? When I've heard people talk about when they lock eyes with the love of their life, that glow, that warmth. There's a word for this, for places. We call it topophilia, the feeling of our affection for a place. But then again, what if this feeling is just a spark, burning too bright to be sustained? Should I be viewing every place with the cynicism of eyes 50 years weary of its charms? Maybe I should just wait until the decision's out of my hands. A job opportunity arrives, or a relationship sweeps me away. But there's more to a place than it just being where I live. A place can tell me the story of my ancestors, the story of the people who were here before I was, how their lives have changed and will continue to change. Place is my heritage and my legacy, my house built by those who will never inhabit it, a fruit tree planted, left to nourish descendants. At this point in time, I'm not interested in controlling what my place is, but more so in embracing and understanding my place fully. Because by fully experiencing a new place, we can examine our reactions to it, and in doing so we learn so much more than we ever could have otherwise. An example of this learning. So I always pictured the escape to nature that I needed growing up as being about the absence of noise, bustle, concrete. And I got that here. Walking along paths, following wandering rivers, or through endless fields of crops. But by being in this place, I felt that same dissatisfaction, as if I hadn't really gone anywhere. Through this, I realized it's the sense of awe that I was missing. The mountains, the oceans that humble me and contextualize the stress and worry that I feel within the much more significant scope of the planet. I probably wouldn't have known this or understood this about myself without spending time in this new type of place. Anyway, that's where I'm at currently. Usually happy to be here, often wondering where to go, sometimes missing home, and rarely with answers, but always excited by the place where I am. I hope you make your place yours, and through it, I hope you find a piece of yourself that you haven't met.